Here is an actor so skilled at role-playing that he boldly fibbed his way through his first big audition, landed the part in style, then went on to become a global celebrity, all at age 18. John Schneider recalls his first time.
I was born in New York, so I lived in New York for the first 14 years of my life, did lots of community theater, lots of school theater, and then moved to Atlanta with my mother with IBM. I'd been there for 3.5, 4 years when I had auditioned, got the news about this audition for Dukes of Hazzard. But I was doing theater at the Academy Theater and the Alliance Theater and all kinds of stuff. So I was an actor, in Atlanta from New York.
He was found on that initial kind of talent search where they went to, I guess, Dallas and Nashville and Atlanta, and looking for country folk, to populate this show.
And I heard about this audition, so I put together all the information I had from all my actor friends and went and tried to nail that sucker.
He was a big, great-looking guy. Some guys are good-looking, but John was classically handsome. And some guys have a little bit of confidence, but John had loads of it.
I borrowed a friend of mine's pickup truck and drove it around for a couple days. Wanted to get the feel of this rather than, So I showed up with a Budman T-shirt, torn up, was a workout shirt, and a 6-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon beer.
John was the one that really came out of the woodwork. I mean, he's right out of high school.
I was 18 years old. I told him I was 24, because that's what they were looking for. I told him I was from Snailville, Georgia, because that's what they were looking for.
He was afraid he wouldn't be hired if the producers knew how young he was.
And they said, "Can we help you?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm here for that the Dukes of Hazzard thing. It's hot as a bear. Would you want a beer?" Put my 6-pack on the coffee table and pulled one open. No, that's okay. Just sign in. So I signed in. I drank my beer. When they called me in, I pulled another one off and brought my beer in there and read for him. I learned one thing that actually has served me many times since then. If you aren't exactly what they want from the moment you walk in the door, you'll never convince them otherwise.
When I first met John, it was an instant friendship. And who knew it would last this long?
She, as far as I knew, she already had the role of Daisy, so she was coming in to read with people.
I looked at him, and he was so tall and cute and sweet, and he told me good luck. And John read with me, and I just felt it had to be his part.
First time I met Tom was in the men's room at what was then the Burbank Studios. Walked in the bathroom and then saw there was a guitar in the stall. I saw a guitar and some boots. I said, "Hey, whose guitar is that?" He said, "Mine. What do you think? It's in here with me, idiot."
Oh, yeah, I had a guitar with me.
The guitar had a lot to do with our instant camaraderie.
We've always had a real, a great chemistry, and right from the beginning.
The first night we met, I went over to his hotel, and we're passing guitar back and forth, singing James Taylor and Billy Joel and all these different things. So it was a good way to meet. We really hit it off from that point on.
They struck it rich in the fact that we did bond as well as we did, and that we did have such camaraderie and chemistry throughout the entire cast.
He had the talent, and he had the confidence. He was something. He stood out.
Thought he was a big kid, full of piss and vinegar, and which is very much what the part entails.
John and I just had a ball. We had so much fun.
It's not like work, and it wasn't like work for anybody else either, because they just enjoyed watching us enjoy ourselves. If you can put that through the television, people are going to love it.
The shows had a look, and they had a speed of just the visual input that had never really been seen on television before.
Down in Georgia, we were just wild. We were getting away with everything. We were basically actor stuntmen.
Oh, he's a hell of a driver. He went to Bondurant, the driving school.
And he picked it up very quickly. He just was a natural driver.
He was a smart actor, see. He's going into this series about cars, and the first thing he does is to take a course in high-performance driving. And he's out there throwing 360s and 180s and stopping the car on a dime.
I think we lost him.
You got as much chance of losing them as I have with sprouting horns, honey. All right, Josh, better hunker down. You ain't gonna believe what's coming.
Old Bo picked that up when he was a linebacker at the Hazzard County High School. You should have seen some of them games.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt about it. It was the best action ever filmed for a television series and set the gold standard that's still imitated today.
It would have been easy for somebody to get killed in that show.
Permanent injuries, no. I have just a mark here because during there was a girl in town. Luke was in love with the girl was in love with Luke. She fell out of a rowboat, so John Schneider, Bo, had to jump in and save the girl, and the alligator came off the side. So I wrestled an alligator. Really did. I actually wrestled an alligator. The guy told me, he said, the alligator's going to want to get away from you as much as you are him. And I'm thinking, no, I don't think so. But so he said, just grab it, and he's going to move his leg. So you grab him and turn him, and it'll look great, because he'll be flailing and his leg will be going. So that's what I did. Like that, I let the alligator go, and sure enough, he went away, and I came back up, but it just scratched my chest up a lot. My 11-year-old daughter is very proud of that. See that? That's where my dad wrestled an alligator and got all scratched up by the alligator. How many 11-year-olds can say that about their dads, huh?
From moonshine runner to superhero's father, the story of John Schneider's first time continues when we return.
John used to go, Catherine, there's so many women throwing themselves at me. And I said, well, duh. And he goes, well, so I appreciate them all. They're all so beautiful. He goes, is that wrong?
John not only became a TV star, John and Tom, they became heroes to a generation of younger kids. Suddenly, because the Dukes of Hazzard went right to the top of the heap. It was a hit show within a couple of weeks.
At that point, I got the National Enquirer had me down for 15,000 letters a week.
John used to go, Catherine, there's so many women throwing themselves at me. And I said, well, duh. And he goes, well, so I appreciate them all. They're all so beautiful. He goes, is that wrong? I said, no, that means that you're like a healthy 21-year-old, okay? That's right on. That's great.
When Dukes was on, my mother collected just about everything that there was. So I have a lot of the memorabilia from then.
It was a classic show. We had a lot of imitators. And I don't think that anybody could have guessed that 27 years later, the Dukes of Hazzard would still be a hit show, not only on cable in the United States, but all over the world. And that an entirely new generation of kids would think it was a new show.
So this thing called Smallville came around. And if I didn't have Denver Pyle's Uncle Jesse in my soul, Jonathan Kent, as people know him, would not exist.
I think John Schneider is Jonathan Kent. I think he's aged tremendously well. And, he was a pretty young guy, but now he's so rugged and, he's the dad. And he's very particular about how that relationship goes.
I think John's handled it real well. I think he's carved himself out a nice little place there. And I was really flattered that they, wrote me a part.
Yeah, he's a class act. As you probably know, he was one of the founders and continues to be deeply involved with the Children's Miracle Network.
I'm proud of and happy for John for the life that he's created for himself, because it could have gone a whole different way. He was really young, and, he really has been an amazing person.
We went through our little things now and then, but by and large, it was really one of the happiest times of my life.
It's 27 years ago I started Dukes of Hazzard, and we're still talking about it. We're talking about it, not like, gee, whatever happened to that, but we're talking about it like it's current, and it is current. How can that possibly be?
John Schneider has been in the public eye for over 25 years, with a successful hit-filled singing career and roles on a multitude of shows from King of the Hill, Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, to the smash WB series Smallville.